Hi, welcome to Peaceful Yoga. My name is Marianne Boquillo, and today I'd like to start the first of 3 videos that will outline ways to set your intentions for 2020. So it's not too late, right? It's the middle of January, but maybe you've had time to think about it. Maybe you've been feeling that you want a little bit of direction, perhaps for the year. So I do this practice every single year. And what motivates me is the fact that once I write down all the intentions, I fold it up and I put it in my Christmas stocking, and then I put them away in the attic, and then I don't look at them again until the Christmas stuff comes down in December. So it definitely motivates me to do it when I'm packing up all the Christmas stuff, right? I gotta get that intention in my Christmas stocking. So why put it away, right? So the reason that we set intentions is to have your desires put out there, right? You want your desires known, and you want to do it so that you even know what your desires are, right? You might have some thought about it, but until you sit down and go through this practice that we're going to do, you might not necessarily be aware of everything that you're looking for in 2021. So what I'm going to suggest is that you get a pen and a paper for this practice. So you might want to press pause on this video and then turn it back on. So writing your list of intentions for the new year can be an inspiring process, right? It's one that's birthed from a deeper desire to be, to do, to have new experiences this year. And the act of contemplating where you are in life and visioning for what's to come stirs up a new energy within, right? It's like an energy of intrigue and hope and inspiration. And when you do this practice with awareness and intention, it starts a connection to something bigger that lights your path, right? So what's the difference necessarily between an intention and a goal? Well, Yoga Journal explains in a Buddhist teaching that intentions are not oriented to future outcomes. Instead, intention is more of a continual aspiration for a path based on an understanding of what really matters to you, right? And in a way, establishing your intention is making a commitment to those values that are most important to you. And then what happens is just amazing. Over time, your actions begin to align with your intentions, meaning those top priority values, right? So when you set an intention, you imagine your highest vision in the area that you're thinking of for that intention, right? And then you think about what having that intention feels like, right? Like, how do you look when you achieve that, or when that happens? Or how do you feel? What are you doing? Who's there with you? What's happening around you? What are the daily practices to keep you anchored to your vision or your intention, right? And you set these intentions as if it already happened. Like, I am. I plan to, right? I am. And then you go from there. So I have a 3-step process. And so this 3-step process is just for, setting your intention. And it can be used anytime. It doesn't have to be just for the beginning of the year, right? You can set an intention anytime, right? In yoga, we ask as teachers that you set an intention every single time you sit down on your mat, or if you sit down to meditate, you have an intention as well. Well, you can live your life with intentions daily, right? You can wake up and say, well, what's my intention for today, right? So the first thing is you start out by evaluating your current situations, right? And then evaluating what's current and what's going on right now helps you really be honest with yourself, all right? It helps you, no one else is looking at this, right? And so you can write down anything about your current state. And in revealing where you are, it might automatically reveal of what you want your intentions to be, right? So let's first just settle into a place of unconditional love and non-judgment, right? So you're going to think about the area of health and wellness to start. All right, and think about right now, how are you how are you doing in your health and wellness? Where are you? And you'll write down where you are. And then you'll tune into that after you write down where you are. And then you can write maybe one intention around health, right? How do you want to feel? What is your intention for 2020 around health and wellness? Around your own health and wellness, right? And then you move on to the area of relationships, right? And they can be relationships with yourself, relationship with others, and all others. So, and you can look at all of that, right? All of your relationships, because you probably have many and different types and different levels of relationship, right? Relationship with your spouse, or relationship with your family, relationship with your children, and relationship with your coworkers. It goes on and on. Relationship with teachers. So you think about how are you satisfied, right? Are you satisfied with your current relationships? And you jot that down, and then you think about how would you feel if things were different, right? And then write down the most important component for your ideal relationship, right? Like in the area of relationships, do you have an intention for your relationships, right? Like my intention is just to be able to hug people and to be in community with others in a safe way, right? Throughout this year, right? So it can be as simple as that. Okay. So next you move on, right? And you take time here, right? I'm just moving along, but you take time and you can press pause in between each one, or you can just write this stuff down and then you can do the practice on your own. So then you think about, do you have a nurturing spiritual practice, right? And spirituality could mean anything to you, right? It could be your relationship to nature. It could be your relationship to, if you believe in a God, right? Your God. It could be your spiritual practice of, if you consider yoga a spiritual practice, or your meditation or mindfulness practice. It could be any of those things, right? So in the area of spirituality, write down your current state, right? What's going on? Are you satisfied with your current state of spirituality? Do you wish you had more? Do you wish you had less? Like, what do you wish, what's your intention around spirituality? How might life change if you did? And write down one way perhaps more spirituality can help you, or a change in your spirituality, or continuing on your spiritual path that perhaps you're already on, right? So next we move on to the area of your career, right? And you may be retired already and not have a career. You may be a mom, and being a mom is your career. So consider those things, or anything that you do that's your livelihood could be your career. So do you find yourself just going through the motions, right? Through your career? Are you using your inherent skills while also acquiring new ones? Are you excited to get out of bed every day and do what you do, right? So I want you to write down one way that you could start to create the ideal work situation, whatever that would be for you, right? How could you learn to love the one that you already have, right? What needs to move or shift, or what direction are you going in that you want to continue in, right? So you look at all these different areas of your life, right? You go through your health and wellness, and that could be your health and wellness is big, right? So that could be like your nutrition. What are you taking in? It could be what exercise you're doing, what physical wellness. It could be what you do to take care of yourself. Could be many things. And then you go on to relationships, spirituality, and the area of career. You can also add in, my teacher suggested this year to add in, money and finances. You can add that in as well into your list, right? So evaluate your current state. It's like, right, the state of the nation, the state of you, right? What's going on in your life, and be honest with yourself and spend time with it, right? And then you move on to setting your intentions, right? And you kind of outline it. So just quiet yourself down for a moment. Take a deep breath in and release. I'm going to suggest, if you feel safe, you go ahead and close your eyes. So feel your body in space as you take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, and let yourself settle. Again, take your deep breath in, filling up completely, and a deep breath out. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. So with your eyes closed, first bring your awareness into your body. Excuse me. So bring your awareness into your body and accept the way you look, accept the way you feel, accept your relationships, your spirituality, your career, your money and finances. Accept it all as it is right now. And be with yourself in the present moment. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Keeping your eyes closed, I want you to contemplate one small action to work towards perhaps your health goals. Right? Could it be eating more green vegetables, or eating more protein, or increasing your water intake, increasing or reducing, right? Reducing your sugar intake, reducing your processed food intake, or could be perhaps releasing anxiety around eating. So just think about that for a second. And now contemplate and be honest with yourself about your relationships. And think about what would your ideal partner be? How would you be with your ideal partner? What would he or she say or do? And if you already have the ideal partner, just think about them and think about your relationship. How would you feel? Or how do you feel when you're with him or her or them? So think about that. And now tune into your spirituality. Maybe you can aspire to or intend to try something new every week, right? Maybe you do a yoga class for the first time, or you meditate for 10 minutes every morning to help you center yourself before you start the day, right? Maybe you add little bits of mindfulness into your day. And if you have any questions about yoga, mindfulness, or meditation, you can always email me, reach out to me, and I can help you understand those things and perhaps practice those things with you. And then the next thing, you begin to take action steps every day to bring you closer to those things, right? Whether it means creating a schedule and sticking to it, or committing to like at least one day a week that you spend more time with your partner, or more time meditating, or organizing your workspace, or eating healthier, or maybe it's just to drink more every single day, right? Whatever it is, I'm going to think about that. Okay, and you can open your eyes if you still have them closed. All right, so the next thing, you're going to declare your intentions out loud, right? So you not only write them down, you declare them out loud. So maybe you share them with a friend, right? Or maybe you just look in the mirror and say them out loud to yourself. Or maybe, you write them down and then you type them out, and then maybe you read them to yourself, right? So whether you say them to a friend, a loved one, or to yourself in the mirror, voicing your intentions out loud and clear will help you fulfill them, right? It lets the universe know what it is that you wish, right? It makes your intentions known. And in that, in declaring them, you almost release them and let them go, right? If you think about like a dandelion, right? And you blow, right? And all the little things like blow away in the wind, right? It's kind of like that. Like those are all your intentions, right? It's being heard, it's being lifted off to somewhere else, right? That's something that's beyond you. So then you need to acknowledge any conflicts you have with your intentions, right? Now, let me give you an example. So for me, I created my yoga toolbox, and it's so exciting for me, but I have to get it out there. I have to be the marketer. I have to do it. But I have a recurring thought, a recurring sentence that I keep telling myself, I'm not any good at marketing, right? And I became a yoga teacher, right? I'm not good at like selling anything, selling me. I'm not, not really great at that part of it. And so that's getting in my way of achieving my intention, right? That's conflicting, right? So the universe hears that I want to be, that's one of my intentions, to market my product, right? And to have it be successful. The universe hears that, but then it hears me say that I'm not good at selling, I'm not good at marketing, right? So I need to align myself with that. So watch out for things that perhaps you are putting out there as intentions, but you also have that conflict going on, right? We might all have that. So just be really honest with yourself about that. So it might mean that you need to stretch your imagination a little bit and acknowledge that total satisfaction is attainable, right? So now bring your awareness to the fact that your intentions can and will lead to a change, right? And I don't know, just saying that is a little like, really? It kind of frightens me just a tiny bit, but it also excites me. So you have to know that if you put your intention out there, something is going to shift, right? And you have to be ready for that shift and open to receiving whatever it is. It might not look like you think it's going to look, but something might shift around it, right? It might be clear to you, become clear that maybe this intention, wasn't really what you thought it was going to be. Or you may, steps might happen and doors might open, windows might open, and, might lead you into going forward. So you're going to outline all these things, and even outline your perfect day. If all these things or intentions were aligned, right? Imagine, what would you do? How would you feel? What would it look like? What would your actions and how would your interactions and actions change, right? So make sure you say your intentions out loud for yourself. You say it to you or in the mirror, or you say it to a friend, right? And you savor the precious energy and only pursue the intentions that make you feel completely alive and completely nourished. Okay. So if you wish to continue with me, the next video will be a video on making a vision board around your intentions, right? I made a vision board last year that had an actual toolbox. It had a picture of yoga, it had a picture of mindfulness, and it had a picture of someone meditating. And that was my vision board, and it happened. It happened. I created the yoga, mindfulness, and meditation toolbox. So that the next video is coming, and then there'll be a third one as well. So if you're interested in all that, just stay tuned. That's coming. And if you're interested in finding out about my toolbox, you can go to my website, www.peacefulyoga.net. And like I said, if you have any questions, if you'd like to do this exercise with me one-on-one, I'd be happy to work with you. I'd be happy to work with you in your yoga, in meditation, with mindfulness. Just reach out and let me know. I wish you joy. I wish you peace, and I wish you love. Namaste. Thank you for being here. I'll see you soon.